when you log into Google Docs, this is the screen that you're going to be taken to. This is your Google Docs home screen. The home screen is where everything goes unless you move it somewhere. If you take a look over here to the left-hand side, you're going to see a bunch of different menus that you're going to be able to organize your files into. Again, the home screen is where things go. As long as you don't move it anywhere. Any new document you create or upload is going to go to the home screen first. You can star important documents. You can select documents that are just owned by you, meaning created by you. You can take a look at every single item that's in your Google Docs. There's of course a trash, and eventually you're going to learn how to make collections. Once you get to this screen, there's only a few different things that you can do, and what we want to do right now is create a document. There's a giant button that does say create, so that's pretty easy. When you click on it, you're going to be given a bunch of options. The three main things we're going to be using are documents, presentations, and spreadsheets. So if you go ahead and click on document, it's going to automatically open up the new document in a new screen on a new tab. Your home screen didn't go anywhere. If you were to exit out of this tab, you'd go right back to your home screen. This looks very similar to Microsoft Word. It functions very much the same. It is a stripped down version, meaning there's not as many features, but for what we need to use it for, it's going to be just fine. The first thing I always recommend doing is naming your document. If you go up here to the top left-hand corner, it says Untitled Document right now. That is what the default name for any documents that are untitled. If you click on it, a separate menu will appear, or a separate box will appear, and then you can name the document. I'm going to call this Mr. Whiteman. Once you type in the name and click OK, that's going to be the name of the document. Now, one thing that I want to point out, right away, as soon as I made any change to my document, you can see up here it says All Changes Saved. One of the greatest benefits to using Google Docs is that you do not need to hit the Save button. It will automatically save every few seconds or so, or whenever you make a change to the document. It's a really handy feature. Once you've named the document and you get going, let's just say it comes time for the teacher the teacher will ask you to share it with him or her. Now, the share button over here at the top right-hand corner of the screen is what you're going to want to click on. When you click on it, a separate box will pop up, and you will see your name at the very top as the owner of the document. To share it with anybody, you go to Add People, and then type in their email address. If you were to share it with Mr. Whiteman, you would say whitemanclass@ga.hobart.k12.in.us. Now, if you can take a look down here, the gray box that appeared below it, if you have added me to your contacts, or if you have added your teacher to your contacts, you do not need to type in the entire email address over and over again. In fact, if I were to just start typing Mr. Whiteman into this field up here, I would just be able to click on my email address and be able to take care of it quickly. Again, something that's very handy to save. The only other thing I want to highlight here before we get out of this screen is, to the right-hand side of the field, you're going to see an option that says Can Edit. You can change this so whoever you share the document with can either edit it or not edit it. I'd assume that anything you're sharing with the teacher, you're going to want them to be able to edit it so they can help you and so they can grade it. So once you type in the address that you want to share it with, you click Share and Save. Now, it's important to note that you're not really sending a document or anything like that, you're sharing it. So as you type, if Mr. Whiteman, myself, were to open up this document, I would be able to see all the changes you're making. I would also be able to jump on myself and give suggestions. That's the important difference between sharing and sending. Sending, you would just be sending the teacher a document, they would make changes, and then send it back to you. That's a lot of waiting. With sharing a document with Google Docs, it's instantaneous. Anything you're doing, I can see, and anything I do, you can see as well. Those are the basics of creating a document and sharing a document, two things you're going to do very frequently. The last video I'm going to show you just has a few more tips and tricks for Google Docs to cut down on the time you spend sending and sharing and so forth. So for now, take care.